Sit back and relax the show because today President Trump is set to commemorate his first 100 days with an event in the state of Michigan where he's expected to make a major announcement for the future of America's car business.
Madeleine Rivera is live at the White House with the details. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning, guys. A senior administration official tells Fox that the move today to soften the blow of some of those car tariffs is meant to give manufacturers more time to move production back to the United States. A lot of industry insiders had mentioned concerns that doing something like that could potentially take years. So Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says this deal is a major victory for the president's trade policy by rewarding companies who manufacture domestically while providing runway to manufacturers who have expressed their commitment to invest in America and expand their domestic manufacturing. So here's what we might see. The Wall Street Journal reports the 25% tariffs on foreign-made cars and parts will remain in effect, but the automakers won't have to pay other duties like those on steel and aluminum. This would be retroactive, meaning the manufacturers will be reimbursed for the tariffs they have already paid, and they'll also be reimbursed for some of the tariffs on imported auto parts. That levy is supposed to take effect on Saturday. The changes come as polls show most voters remain gloomy about the economy. As the president marks his 100th day in office today, a Fox News poll shows 38% approve of his performance on the economy, 56% disapprove, 33% approve of his moves on tariffs, 59% disapprove. But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is aiming to reshape the message around the economy.
We've got a three-legged stool here. It's trade, it's tax, it's deregulation. President Trump has come out of the blocks roaring. And I think this is something new for the American people. He's given 1-2 press conferences a day, an incredible level of transparency.
And Bessent will be attending the briefing today with White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. That briefing is supposed to take place at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Yesterday, Bessent met with top GOP negotiators on the president's One Big Beautiful Bill, and they're really looking to that to unlock a lot of the president's domestic priorities, especially on border security, defense, and taxes. Lauren, Steve, Ainsley, and Brian.
All right, Madeleine.
I wonder if Caroline Leavitt will start having these press conferences at 8:30 each morning, because yesterday she had that one with Tom Homan. Today she's having it with Scott Bessent. He talked to the GOP leaders about our economy. Trump did a great job handling immigration and handling our borders. He's cleaned up our country in a major way. Now, everyone, when you're in the streets, they love what he's doing, but they say, what he's doing with the car industry, this is going to be wonderful. Really focus on the tariffs and getting some of these deals done.
Well, and the thing about having a press briefing at 8:30, it's an hour before the market opens. And so if the administration's got something that could move the markets, it's a smart move.
Well, I think the administration is taking the messaging back, getting right back to why he was elected. So it started yesterday with what was happening at the border. I don't think we've had a more secure border. Tom Homan's leadership there. It was a campaign promise. Then you have today where people are saying, oh, the president doesn't understand our pain. He's going out there saying, look, I'm going to those union workers. These were normally Democratic voters. They switched over to the Republican Party. He's saying, look, I'm going to help you out with some of the pain as we figure out this tariff situation. Now is your move, China. Do you want to make a deal?
Didn't you miss Lawrence? He was on vacation last week. Yeah. I mean, that's who you met. Look how fresh he is. It's unbelievable. And I like to add, too, that today's going to be really impactful because it's the economic message. Yeah. And Scott Bessent is the people want to hear from, and they want to see deals come in, and I think they're close.
I've been really impressed with him. You've known him for a long time.
He's smooth.
He's been doing the radio show for like 2 years, and people used to introduce him, he might be Treasury Secretary, and the answer would be, well, I never heard of him. Yeah. And now everyone's heard of him.
Know him now.
Yeah. Here's a look back at the 100 days as they were, as you lived them.
For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day.
45 yesterday became 47. President Donald Trump got to work immediately, issued over 200 executive actions as his first cabinet official is confirmed unanimously. Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Pete Hegseth was sworn in as Defense Secretary, and Kristi Noem was sworn in as Homeland Security Secretary on Saturday.
Now these National Guard members that are down here, they have full authority.
The most powerful military in the world will not be intimidated by anybody, let alone cartels. hotels.
The border's closed.
Illegal border crossings are down more than 90%.
2 months in, border crossings are almost at zero.
President Trump thanking El Salvador for taking in hundreds of illegal migrants that were deported from our country.
We're getting them out in record numbers, and we're having a lot of problems with the courts because the courts want to pretend they're president. And they're not president. They didn't get 80 million votes.
In sanctuary cities, ICE agents have launched early morning raids, effectively ending the Biden-era catch and release program.
The very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens. It's called the Laken-Riley Act.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
Okay, that's a big one.
Democrats say they want Elon Musk fired immediately.
We're going to shut down Elon Musk's illegal operation.
If we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
DOGE says its estimated savings so far total about $140 billion.
We routinely encounter wastes of $1 billion or more.
And another Tesla property attack.
It's under very serious investigation by the FBI and by the Justice Department. These people are terrorists.
There were 1,200 rallies called hands-off rallies protesting Donald Trump, his policies, DOGE, tariffs. Right now, the Dow future is down sharply as global markets take a big hit in response to President Trump's tariffs announcements. The president says America is in the driver's seat.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my. They are dying to make a deal. Please, please, sir, make a deal.
Global markets soar as President Trump paused reciprocal tariff on most nations for 90 days.
We have a big job to do. No other president would have done what I did.
China raising tariffs on the U.S.
Beijing announces a 125% tariff on U.S. imports after the White House says tariffs on China are now at 145%.
A dozen Democrat-led states have sued the Trump administration over the tariffs.
In the end, I think what's going to happen is we're going to have great deals. And by the way, if we don't have a deal with a company or a country, we're going to set the tariff over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
The president issuing the executive order that all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion offices must close by 5 p.m. today.
Last week, long before the crash, I signed an executive order restoring our highest standards for air traffic controllers. We'll restore faith in American air travel. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. I want Iran to be great. The only thing they can't have is a nuclear weapon. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right? You're gambling with World War III.
Another hostage release today. An American wrongfully detained in Russia for more than 3 years.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now.
On his first foreign trip, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is set to visit Panama.
Now, Panama's agreed not to renew the 2017 Chinese contract.
Vice President J.D. Vance visits the space base in Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security and international security. I think we'll go as far as we have to go. Canada should honestly become our 51st state. We wouldn't have a northern border problem. We wouldn't have a tariff problem.
Under the Biden administration, there was a war against American energy, and today that war officially has ended.
President Trump carrying through on one of his campaign promises, signing a much-anticipated executive order to dismantle the Department of Education.
I want Congress to be a partner in this, and I believe they will be.
By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
In a few moments, I'll sign a historic executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports. It's about time.
The president has made it quite clear that it's Harvard who has put themselves in a position to lose their own funding by not obeying federal law.
We will stand bravely. We will live proudly. We will dream boldly. And nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours. And our golden age has just begun.
That seems like 4 years. Yeah. It seems like 4 years. I mean, compare that to the Biden administration. He had one day when he stacked up the executive orders, he signed them, and then we didn't see him for 3 months. Yeah. And now this president nonstop, he's just pumping out more today and more yesterday. More today. Look for helping out cops, get them legal backup in case they're wrongly accused of acting on the job. And now today he goes out to Michigan to explain what's going to be done, and also the auto tariffs might be getting an exemption on this whole tariff trauma.
Brian, I think your explanation yesterday about the report card and how they're doing so much so fast, and you talk about the building of the house, you can't judge it when he's putting the framework in the first 100 days, and you got all these pollings coming out.
That goes back to FDR.
It's incomplete.
The 100 days from FDR.
That's
it's
exactly
not
right.
from Trump.
That's right.
Just compare what he's saying, what he's doing when you watch that whole montage to Joe Biden and the energy that he has. I watched the press conference yesterday when the Eagles were at the White House, and he is so good at communicating. It's such a gift, because if we had to do that, I don't know enough about football. I would be a nervous wreck, but he knows about every sport. He knows about trade. He knows about the border.
Yep.
He's so equipped for this job, and I think he's having more fun. He even said that in an interview with The Atlantic. He's having more fun this go-round. But he talked to the coach. He brought the security guy up who loves Donald Trump, let him talk. He talked to the owner. He talked to all the players. He talked about the plays and how they beat the Chiefs this time. It was just, I watched that press conference and I thought, he is gifted.
Well, and let's poll the audience. In fact, we're going to go out in the audience. How many people, after watching all that stuff, are just exhausted because so much stuff got done, right? Well, everybody, guys, also, let me see your hands. Who voted for change in the 2024 election? All right. Who's got change so far? All right, they're making change. What's your name, sir?
I'm Nick.
Hey, Nick, I'm Steve.
Good to see you.
Thanks
Good morning.
Where are you from?
Virginia.
Okay, very good. I got family down there. Nick, what do you make of the first 100 days?
I think the first 100 days has been wonderful. I think we've seen a lot of the changes that we all expected and we're looking for, and it's like a lot of things, you're cleaning up a mess, and that takes time, and you have to break a few eggs during that, and I think we're seeing that.
Okay, very good. Let's come on over here. This guy's been on the program before. Stand up for a second.
Sure.
And can we get a shot of those shoes? Where do you get those shoes like that?
Amazon.
Okay, good. Where are they from?
I don't know. I don't want to look.
Yeah, I guess not. All right, so what would you say the number one topic that you voted for that has been addressed so far this administration, this time around?
How long is the show? Borders, fossil fuels.
Okay.
The VA, military, respect. And we got a leader back in the White House. I call it a true commander-in-chief, because we are respected again. And haters will always hate. The American people are not fools, and they saw what the first 4 years of Trump, what he did, especially in tariffs.
Right.
Be a little patient. The first 4 years, he did it. He did the tariffs, our economy, and we had more jobs than people.
All right.
We actually did.
Round of applause for this man with the triangle glasses and his shoes from somewhere. Let's come on over here. They were just talking a little bit about, what's your name?
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yes, hello.
Well, he's from Virginia.
Yeah, so am I. I was born in Virginia.
No way.
Yeah,
All right.
a big stone gap.
Okay, so Virginia, he mentioned the tariffs. You know, in Madeleine Rivera's report, something like 68% of the country doesn't feel good about the tariffs.
Right. I could understand why they're afraid that everything else is going to inflation we're going to have, and we don't want to have it worse than what we have, a recession but I believe we got to go through pain before something good comes from it.
Are you going through a little pain right now?
Not really, thank God.
I'm not talking about being here in the studio being interviewed by me.
Yeah, no, financially, I'm a retired person. I'm pretty
The money keeps coming in.
That's all.
As long as the Social Security
and as long as
in.
my health is here. Money means nothing when you're my age.
Right? That's very good. Oh, let's go to the back row. This lady knows I'm coming over here to talk. You sit down. I'm just going to go like this. What's your name?
Sheila Erickson.
Sheila, what's your observation about the first 100 days?
I think the first 100 days has been a breath of fresh air. I think that everybody's been waiting for change, no matter what party you are.
Right.
I feel that the change is undeniable. And so this is the first 100 days. I can't wait to see what the first 1,000 days.
What about the next 100 days?
The next 100 days are going to be exciting. Those trade talks. He's got 8 countries that are right on the line to get started, and I think it's going to be laying the groundwork to his point earlier that he's building the house, he's building the framework for what our future is. And as a mother of 3 children in this country, we're bringing it back to basics, and we're building from the bottom up.
Who's taking care of the kids right now?
My husband.
Do you need to tell him on the TV to make them toast or something?
No, I think he's good. I left all the backpacks.
All right, good. All right, round of applause, everybody. You were very, very nice. Great opinion. All right. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.